Today, we'll be talking about how I turned my book idea into three books that literally changed and improved the self-esteem of thousands of Black children around the world. It also allowed me to get on shows from CBS to BET and literally changed my life and the life of children around the world on today's episode of The Backstory. Before I get into the story, I want to share two new segments we're doing. The first one is Food for Thought, and the second one is the Entrepreneur's Corner. Each segment is designed to bring different aspects. Food for Thought will bring you little nuggets of wisdom that I've gained from other people to share with you. The Entrepreneur's Corner will help you understand my journey as an entrepreneur, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and literally bang my head against the wall sometimes. So you won't do the same thing. So it's my way of trying to give back to the entrepreneurs who are out here trying to make it happen. So with that being said, let's get into the story. I would love to tell you that when I had this great book idea to teach Black history to our kids dating back 6,000 years, how we create mathematics and science and the first calendar and all these great things, that people were like, yes, it's wonderful. Let's publish you. I literally got rejected by every type of publisher you can think of. And I got rejected by pretty much every type of bookstore, Black bookstores included, national bookstores, small books. If you had books, you said no to me. So I got rejected a lot. And so that's part of this entrepreneur journey. Sometimes it's being rejected, but you have to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So I'm gonna give you 5 quick steps on how I overcame the rejections to prove that the idea God had given me to write these books actually worked, and how I convinced media and bookstores to then take us in after they said no so many times. So the first thing I did was research. I wanted to make sure there was an actual market for my book. So I started to investigate whether books like mine, whether books like mine in the bookstores, uh, and when I began to realize that there was nothing quite like my book or my book idea out there. So that was the first step of realizing that there was an opportunity to create something that people wanted, and it also wasn't out there yet. So the second thing I did was test my product. Once I wrote the manuscript, I had like 10 to 15 people read it and ask for complete honesty on it. Once I get the complete honesty on it, and I got to the point where I knew it would work, that's when I went into production for my product. The third thing I did was learn my industry. I had to really learn where the cracks and crevices were, get into, because I didn't have the resources or the money to compete with these major publishers. I had to find a way to work the system that benefited me. The fourth thing I did was create success stories around my product. You have to find what your product does and what it does for people and record those testimonies, whether it be through filming them or getting people to write you reviews. Find out where your success is and turn them into stories that you then can repackage to prove that your product works, or pitch it to a news story or a channel. That's how you begin to create buzz around your product. And number 5, run over no's like they're speed bumps. Here's the thing. You've done the work. You researched the market, you've tested your product, you've learned your industry, and you created success stories. You've done all these different things to prove your product works. Don't let somebody who hasn't done the type of work you put in tell you your product doesn't work. It doesn't matter if they're an expert in the industry, they haven't done the work you've done. So don't let no's stop you. You might slow you down a little bit like a speed bump, but you just run right over it.